Good morning. I'm not sure that I can follow on with that. You've got a real opportunity with regards to this big heritage lottery fund to make a difference in this space. But, you know, I just want to welcome everyone here to Derby today. I think it's going to be an inspiring day. Just in my short time in the lobby, I've already been inspired about what other people are doing. So that's just my short time. I'm sure that everyone here will get that opportunity. I think networking is probably one of those places that we very rarely get a chance to do, but when we do come together, you know, great things can happen and conversations spark ideas. I've already gone away with some ideas and I need to speak to Parks already, but so hopefully that will continue throughout the day. But I think the importance of Parks is not lost on communities. Going back to the pandemic and lockdown, we know that was probably one of the only spaces that people could go and connect to nature and feel safe. We're fortunate in Derby to have 2,300 hectares of green space, which is supported primarily by lots of volunteering groups, probably like many people in this room. Without those volunteers, without those support networks, we wouldn't have the green spaces that we've got. Local authorities do not have the funding to be able to manage them effectively. It also gives community a sense of purpose and belonging in that space. Those parks start to belong to communities and not just something that is being developed by local authorities. So Derby has always been a place of innovation. I think we have a legitimate claim to being the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, with the silk mill, Britain's first factory, established here in 1721. And we're equally as proud, although this is often disputed, that the Arboretum Park, donated by Joseph Strutt in 1840, was the first urban park in Britain. And some of its trees are now listed on the British Isles Tree Register. So that is one of our claims to fame. But how do we carry that legacy forward? How do we start to think about a new green revolution? One example of many is Alistry Park, 320 acres, now becoming the UK's largest urban rewilding site. That wasn't easy, very complex and very challenging, both politically, when you are making a decision to change something from a golf course to a rewilding site. I can tell you that does not come without pulling its teeth. But with the expert of the staff leading those challenges and leading those conversations and communities really getting behind those projects, that project is here to stay, and I can't imagine that anybody would ever say let's turn Alistry Park into a golf course again. But also what we're seeing there is that it's still in its early infancy. When you think about turning something from a golf course into a rewilding park, there is a real opportunity to map and create a new biodiversity, but also bring back biodiversity that is lost. So instead of those close-mown grass verges throughout, you know, we're now seeing new habitats for butterflies, bees, a place to store carbon. And hopefully, I think that will be one of our lasting environmental legacies for future generations in Derby. Another step is our city, our river. This is another step in preparing Derby for a changing climate. At the heart, Oakcore reduces flood risk for homes and businesses, but it goes much further. Along the River Derwent, the project is creating new wetlands, improving lakes, restoring riverbanks, and increasing our tree cover, using nature-based solutions to strengthen that resilience. And with Package 2 on its way, we will see a new redesign of a green space in Derby City. We're removing buildings, creating wetlands, walking and cycling routes along the river. And again, that doesn't come easy. When you start talking to people about removing buildings and the early interim, which is sometimes removing those trees that aren't a natural species to the UK. Again, that doesn't come without its challenges, but you just have to keep pushing forward with that conversation. And hopefully when it's complete, that people will see that actually bringing nature into the city it is really, really important for people. And finally, one of our ambitious climate investments in our city's history is a new 100 million low carbon heat network, which will be delivered by One Energy. And it will provide cleaner, more affordable heat to major buildings across Derby City, and with the focus of improving those carbon emissions. But their strength of working with this organisation, which is One Energy, is that their belief is that it is about putting back more than they've taken out. So not only will it deliver on low carbon heating, but it would also deliver on increased biodiversity net gain. I think these projects show that Derby is not only honouring its past, we're shaping a greener, healthier, climate change resilient future for our communities that we serve. And I hope you all continue to have a great day. And I feel a little bit envious that I can't stay today. Wednesdays is a very busy day for councils. But thank you, and thank you for inspiring me. Victoria from Leicester. I've already said that, can my parks talk to you? Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.